possible. In this instance, he decided the matter was important enough to respond, for he spoke.
"The master is agitated,"
said Mr. Albright. Alan and Randolph exchanged alarmed glances. In more than 20 years of friendship, they had rarely known Simon to be agitated. "We will come at once," said Alan. Since the late autumn night was chilly, the two Navy men both wore their boat cloaks. Albright had traveled in Simon's magic-powered carriage, which he had designed himself. Mr. Albright opened the door, and Alan started to climb inside, but passed. "Are we to meet Henry there?" he asked. Albright simply shook his head. He ushered Randolph and Alan inside, then mounted the box. Placing his hand upon the helm, he sent the magic flowing to the lift tanks and the air screws. The carriage left the ground and sped through the darkness, bound for the famous floating house known as Welkenstead.
"What the devil do you suppose is going on with Simon?"
Randolph wondered aloud.
"Agitated my arse. Is it better not be more goddamn theorizing on the possibility of anomalous liquid breath pools in the Aligoes?"
"I just hope it doesn't have to do with the discovery of some new type of bug," said Alan. Randolph laughed.
"Like that bug he named after you. What did he call it? Northrop's weevil?"
"I have no idea," said Alan. "I took care to forget it as soon as possible. You cannot imagine the humiliation I endured. I was attending a party and having a confidential chat with a lady when we were quite rudely interrupted by some blighted bug enthusiast asking me questions about weevils." Randolph's laughter soon died, and the men rode in silence, both of them pondering Simon's unusual summons.
"Can you see the house?"
Randolph asked Alan after some time had passed. "Just coming into view on the port side," he reported, indicating the chimneys and turrets and towers of Welkenstead silhouetted against the stars. "Wind from the north. The house will be drifting in a southerly direction tonight." Simon's home, Welkenstead, was considered one of the wonders of the world. Built by the wealthy Elsinore family, the house had started life as a villa located on the outskirts of the Freyan capital, Havre. Down through the years, the rich, eccentric Elsinores had done renovations to the house, adding on or tearing down as the mood seized them. One day, so the story goes, the last and most eccentric living member of that family, the Duchess of Elsinore, had looked out her window and decided she was bored with the view. A noted scientist, globetrotter, inventor, and collector, the Duchess had outfitted her house with lift tanks, imbued it with magical constructs, and hired engineers to dig it up out of the ground. Welkenstead rose gracefully into the sky. The house did not really fly. The Duchess had liked to say, "Welkenstead drifted with panache." The house now drifted above Havre, the wonder and admiration of all who observed it. When Simon was shot during an attempt to save Godfrey, then Crown Prince of Freya, from assassination, he was left paralyzed from the waist down, and the Duchess invited him to come live with her. The Duchess felt a good deal of affection for the young man, who shared her interests in science and inventing. When she died, she bequeathed the house and her considerable wealth to him. Arriving at the house, Albright reversed the air screws and brought the carriage to a smooth landing on a platform at the front entrance. They were climbing out of the carriage when the front door flew open and Simon floated out in his chair to meet them. "What kept you?" he demanded irritably. Alan and Randolph stared at him in astonishment. Simon had never before greeted them at the door. He was generally to be found in his office on the second floor, so absorbed in his work that he wouldn't hear them if they fired off pistols.
"Nothing kept us,"
Randolph said, annoyed.
"I didn't even get to finish my dinner."
"We came as soon as we got your message," Alan added. "What is this emergency?"
"Come to my office," said Simon. "Albright, fetch Henry, but not now. Wait an hour. You should find him at home. I know that Lady Anne was planning to dine with friends, but Henry said he had work to do and he wasn't going with her."
Albright silently nodded. He placed his hand on the helm, and the carriage sailed into the night. Simon whipped his chair around and floated back into the house. "Why are we meeting without Henry?" Alan asked as they followed Simon inside.
"Because what